Hi, Mark Bruno with Printing News and PrintingNews.com here at day 2 of Graph Expo in Chicago, and joining us now is Avi Basu, and Avi is Director of Marketing and Business Development with HP's Graphic Solutions Group.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Avi, we want to talk a little bit firstly about packaging and the decline of the print runs in packaging. Can you tell us a little bit about HP's take on if that's true, why it's true, and elaborate a bit on that?
Yeah, actually it's a very exciting field for us and for the industry overall. And similar to what's going on in the commercial side of the applications. In the case of packaging, as you know, a lot of the packaging goes into consumer products, okay? And consumer products like you and I are consumers, we're finicky, we're demanding, we want things just our way. And so what the brands are trying to figure out is, how do I run promotions, which are typically short term? Short term means shorter runs. Shorter runs means cannot effectively do that in long run machines, right? So that's where the value proposition of digital comes in. That's one example. Another example is, a lot of packaging is also very regulatory driven, right? So let's say you create millions and millions of bottles of something, and then something changes in terms of a regulatory requirements or something. What do you do now with all that inventory? So you want to minimize your risk, and that's why you want to print basically what you need, and since you can never predict what you really need, you want to print something that's more manageable. Okay. So a combination of these things, which frankly have existed for a long time, but really the promotion-based, consumer promotion-based need is more real, more now, and brands are doing a lot more interesting things. So that's what's driving the demand.
And what about the customization and personalization side of it?
Yeah.
Can you speak to that and what that means for brand owners in terms of their marketing?
Sure. Now customization, depending on how you define it, at the extreme level could be almost down to the personalization basis, where Avi or Blair or Jack or John could be personalized. Now that's one way of doing it, and as you know, Coca-Cola did actually a great example of that. People just put people's names in the bottles, right?
Right.
So the Johns and the Steves could hang around together, or the Marys and Susans could hang around together. Now that's one way of doing it. And I think for most packaging, people prefer to do it more on a version basis, right? So for example, how things are packaged in the north of the US versus the south of the US, east versus west, more rainy weather versus more sunny weather. So there's all kinds of promotional components. NFL season just got started this weekend, right? So Packer fans want it a certain way, Bears fans want it another way. So having that different packaging that speaks to that is what also drives the personalization, some amount of serialization, and the smaller control of those packages itself.
Okay. And obviously we're here at a trade show, so I wanted to ask you about capital equipment investing. Yeah. If a printer or converter is thinking about acquiring a new device, what makes them decide on analog versus digital? Is it strictly a consideration of run length, or is it way more variables and factors in terms of a total cost of ownership more model?
No, it's a great question. We get asked the question very much all the time. I think first of all, we need to state something fact. It's a false choice, right? It's not analog or digital. People who are in this business, people who are in this trade show, they already have a great business that they've run, whatever their background is. The question is, everybody in a business looking for growth, okay? And as they manage that, they have to make good investment choices, right? Where can I invest that gives me the best chance of growing? And it's not like one grows, the other goes away. It's a matter of these two are very complementary. So the offset or the analog technologies coexist with digital technology. Now, it's one thing to acquire capital equipment, even if you have the funding. The second thing is, what do I do with it? Do you understand how to sell? Do you understand whom to sell? Do you understand the value proposition? Right. Do you know how to price it? And those are some things that many of our customers and prospects are asking HP, how can you help me better prepare for that? How can you train my sales force? How can you better prepare so that I can market the value proposition that digital enables me? And by doing that, and of course there's a return on investment piece of the analytical component that goes into it, looking at the markets, looking at the verticals, that's how they make the choices.
And what does HP do to help them, to educate them? Is it a formal program, or is it just consulting and advising? Is it a combination?
Yeah, actually it's all of the above. So we have a lot of material, and a best way for us to learn what we found and what our customers to learn is to take an actual proven success cases. So we have customers, as you know, globally, worldwide. So we routinely, every quarter, we go through and consolidate the best practices from everybody. and we make that all almost like a knowledge base available to all our customers. So they can absorb that and I know I can work on this or something like this. That's one point. The other aspect of it is we also have a whole team inside of HP. HP people who have on the average between 15 to 20 years of experience each. We call them our business development team. They work as consultants essentially with every one of our customers, okay? And especially for customers who are investing in on our higher class machines,
yes,
they need this high touch even more so. So we work with them up to some cases 2 or 3 days at their site with their sales force. And it's a very formalized program, but very customized program. So we bring all these capabilities to our customers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Avi, thank you for taking the time to speak with us. We look forward to coming over to the booth in a little bit and seeing what HP's got going on.
Great, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Take care.